going to call the October 9th Ozark City Council meeting to order at this time. I have asked our city attorney, Kevin Barham, to lead us in prayer, and then Angela Harris will do our pledge. So if y'all will stand, please.
Would you bow with me, please? Heavenly Father, we approach your throne this evening as we come together to handle the city's business. We pray that we may remember the citizens in all that we do, and every decision that we make for the best interest of the people of Ozark. Lord, we've realized that you've blessed us beyond compare as a nation, as a state, and certainly as a city. We pray that you'll continue these blessings. Forgive us for our sins. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Susan, if you will call the roll, please.
Meyer.
Here.
Mahon.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have the approval of the minutes from last month. You've had an opportunity to look over those. Do we have any comments or corrections? If not, I need a motion to approve, please.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second?
I'll second
Tyler.
it. Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Mahon.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yeah.
And next, you have your financials. If you will notice, your packet is a little thicker. These are the suggestions at the auditor to have those in your packet each month. We don't save trees. Do you have any questions or comments on those?
Motion to approve financials as presented.
Second.
Baker.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Mahon.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yeah.
Next are your department head reports. I do want you to look at Devon's at the police department. Officer Elgood has resigned as officer. Devon is promoting our code enforcement animal control officer, Dylan Hancock, who is currently at the academy. He graduates November 17th. So he is taking applications for code enforcement animal control officer. And the officers, Devon, Shay, they are all doing a really good job right now filling in while Dylan is gone.
Just for clarification, the code enforcement animal control officer is a certified position, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. Does anybody have any comments or any questions you want to look at any of those? If not, we'll move on to committee reports. Argus has his in the packet. Would you like to go over anything, sir?
I think we've covered everything in the packet. We're good.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Argus on the Parks and Rec meeting? Okay. If not, David, street and water?
Yes. So we'll start with sewer at 14th and Kelly. That's the Mike Minor's property that we rezoned. And that property, interesting enough, there was a lot of developments, and I don't remember who all was at the meeting, but just so you know that right now, there's sewer that currently runs out of the existing structure and runs across the East Step property and that is their private sewer line. This line right here, sorry, I'm trying to show everybody. This line right here is actually the public sewer system, but this one right here is the private that goes across there. Talking to the E-steps, there is no mention of any easements at all across this property. So then that comes down to, you know, the sewer line that's there is starting to collapse, and the question is, you know, it's not good enough to go with 5 structures. So, as it stands right now, the E-step said they would not grant a easement across their property because they do have intent to build. So, as it stands right now, we're looking at what we need to do to provide sewer to 14th and Kelly. I don't know what it's like 800 and something. 14th Street is the actual address of that. The suggestions that we have right now are, it's about, the quote is a rough quote that Tanya got for $62,800 plus $5,000 in design work and stuff. So $68,000 basically, and that would extend the sewer down Kelly Street and allow all of those houses to hook onto it. The interesting thing about this is especially once you found out that line is cast iron and it is starting to collapse a little bit, is without the easement going across the property, if it did collapse, I mean, what would we do as a city? Because it's not like we're hooking up new sewer. It would be somebody that had existing sewer. But so at the end of the day, my suggestion, my thought is, and again, we discussed this briefly in the meeting, but we didn't know all the details about what the sewer line is. But at the end of the day is we have a customer on 14th Street that is, even if they wasn't developing, would need sewer. I know developers generally pay for sewer. We've done some exceptions in the past where it's been split 50-50 or whatever, but it's an odd situation because if that line collapsed, what would we do? Because then it wouldn't be a developer doing it, right? It would be the city that would have to provide sewer, in my opinion. So it's just an odd situation. So I guess overall, you know, we need to look at it, and I don't know if we want to make a decision today or if we want to bring it back next month and talk about exactly what we want to do as far as, you know, pay the $68,000 or split it, or, you know, have the miners pay for it. So
Have we talked to Mike? Has he been in contact with you about
so
this?
I have talked to Summer about it, and you know, I told her that I would present it and asked her what, you know, told her that I would present it and that we would see where the council stood, because we have done everything. We have done it in multiple different ways, right? As far as it goes, but I mean, I kind of look at it, in my opinion, is at the end of the day is you have, even if they're not developing, you're going to have a problem at that house in the future.
How far over does that line go, David, where it connects at? I know it goes across that lot, but
So it goes, the
Is it
current
back to
sewer
12th Street?
line runs all the way down the fence line between E-Step's property and my property on Kelly Street. It runs all the way across the road and straight down the side of their property. It runs to the back side of the property, and then it turns east and goes towards 12th Street.
so it L shapes there, or is
Yeah,
it goes straight to the
L-shapes.
school?
No, it L shapes at the end of the property.
But there's an easement the other way?
There is an easement for the main sewer line, yes.
Where does the sewer line run for that supplies the school and the houses across the street from that address?
I would say just by, I mean, I don't know for sure because I didn't see the full map on where the sewer, I would assume that the school goes into that same main sewer line because it comes down right there by the school and runs east to 12th Street, but I don't know that for sure. As far as the houses across the street, there is I mean, that line goes across the street right there. And Tanya, do you remember, does it move, does it go sideways across the main sewer line that runs the length?
There's a lot of mains in the area.
Okay,
Just,
the sewer line that runs the length of East Up's property. It
goes-
goes.
So is that the one from Kelly to 12th or Kelly with 14th? Where,
No, the one I'm talking about is from Kelly to the school's property.
okay.
From Kelly, at the corner of Kelly and Ozark, which is where he's probably talking,
Yeah.
where it begins and then heads south. That's where the manhole is that, you know, they could cook to, they could get across the East Steps property even in the front. And, you know, they don't have to do that, but I'm saying, and then there is sewer on the school side of that, street, on the south side of this property. And I thought that the miners were gonna talk to them about maybe coming under the road and catching the sewer.
Where, the house on 14th
What do you
Street,
mean
where are
come
they
under the
hooked
road?
up?
Well,
I mean,
you
that's
know,
closer.
here's,
The house under
Yeah.
14?
School property borders the minor
It,
property.
it runs in
and this is
between the
13.
14th
And
and
then
15th.
this street, I can't
Runs in
remember what
between.
it's called, school's right here. And this is the property, and I mean, there's sewer here, there's sewer here.
That's Walden Street.
Yeah, so, I mean, this
I
is
bel- I
where the
believe-
East Steps property is, this is, that sewer runs down across, there's sewer over here too. They'd still, this is their they'd still have to go across the East Steps to get to this.
Okay.
But if there's, that they might could come under the road, or, you know, under here and catch, but then they'd have to get some kind of easement from the school.
Is there not an easement down that side on the school?
I mean, we have a utility for our main wherever there's a road, but I think the school, I thought they were just like, as late as Friday, we're gonna talk to
You thought the miners were talking to the school about that?
the guys on Friday. I think we're gonna go meet with the miners and
Okay.
the school and maybe see.
Our guys were.
Yeah, and
Okay.
just look at that, whether it would fall, whether, you know, I have no idea, but I know that was something they were looking at while we were trying to decide.
Yeah, I was just wondering if miners come across the back of their property where they're deal and tied in on the school road line.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now where, I don't have it with me, and the guys, I thought they were gonna report to me what they found out. You know, they were gonna kind of spot maybe a manhole on this side and just see, could they get to it from here?
Okay.
And, you know, the sewer up here kind of comes down 14th and stops up here. You know, it doesn't go, there's no sewer right there. But there's sewer all over here on 13th.
So that line from Kelly doesn't, that crosses the East End property, does not tie back into the Waldron?
It just stops right here, it stops right here, and then it goes up 13th, it goes that way, and then it goes across there, you know, that property.
And does it tie into our line on the other end?
Yeah, we've got some lines over here that go in over as well.
Okay, so it,
But still, these people are kind of, they're not, they still have to go across the East Steps if they go east at all, so.
so that line doesn't go east to west? Where
This
this-
line goes north and south.
Where it ties in, it doesn't go east and west from there?
Yeah, it goes east, it doesn't go west, I don't think.
Is what I was asking.
Because, I mean, if it went west, we'd be tying in right here, but also.
That's what I
don't
was
know
asking.
What the fall is, I don't know what any fall is there, you know, if it would flow. Just the first option, when they looked at that with my crew, was just what if we ran a line down here? And they wanted to just run they drew out a 6-inch line with a cleaning on it. But they can't do it in our easement. So if that's our line, it can't be a 6, it's gotta be an 8-inch line. It can't be a clean out, it needs to be a minimum.
But can they run north to south, and if they come over and tie, if we extend our pipe over for them to tie in?
That's something, you know, I don't know, if they want us to try to, but even here, I think when we terminate, I don't know that we could do them a tap.
I'm talking about on the south side.
Oh, the south side, they've gotta get back to, that's the first, I wasn't here Friday, and they were gonna go out, I thought Friday, but I haven't heard anybody, I don't know if they even did.
I was just thinking that was a shorter distance. If we could extend off of our lines there, we wouldn't be looking at, you said 800 feet roughly?
And I don't even know why, you know,
I
they
don't-
never thought of
I
that.
don't
I
remember.
don't
I don't think I
know
saw
what
the
all they're
footage.
planning. They haven't talked, he's never talked to me about it. But the guy said they might go and talk to the school and the miners about any possibilities down here on the south. That might have panned out, so I haven't heard anything.
I haven't either, and it was Wednesday Tuesday.
Yeah, and this was Thursday
Yeah.
sometime, and I had told
Yeah.
them, I don't know if they went and looked at it, and
Okay.
it's not gonna work.
So, I mean, so from the committee meeting, I think that everybody's got an understanding, but I don't think we can make a decision today until we find out, you know,
Now, I think we need to find out if they've talked to the school.
yeah.
There's a lot of
A lot of
Yeah, there's a couple
variables
other
that need to be
options, yeah.
looked at, so we'll just.
So,
Well, they weren't at the committee meeting that night either
No,
to discuss what
they
they
were
wanted,
not.
so.
correct.
Thank you, Donna.
Okay, so as far as that goes, we'll just, we'll, talk about that next month, once we have more data. Also, we talked about, the, an ordinance, 1999-24, that, where Tractor Supply is wanting to hook in sewer to the water, or to our sewer line. And, I mean, the 1999-24 ordinance says the city of Ozark shall not provide sewer services to any person, residence, business, or other establishment, if such residence, business, or establishments is located outside the city limits of the city of Ozark, Arkansas. So, I don't disagree with that statement. However, I know that Tractor Supply wants to be annexed into the city, so I think that I don't know if what we need to do officially, but I think that.
I will tell you
with-
that they have started the formality of
Okay.
filling out the paperwork. They've
That's
been in
fine, yeah.
touch with Little Rock. As soon as they read that
Yeah.
in the paper, they were on the phone to me. I know I gave them your contact information as well, and he said being in the city was not an option. They want it in there.
I understand.
So.
I understand. I just wanted to make sure
that's-
that we did talk about that and
Right.
that it's out there and that everybody knows and understands it. At the end of the day, I don't think that anybody has a problem with it as long as they're gonna be in the city.
And they are. I
So,
mean, he's.
yeah. Correct, I understand.
He
We're
was
kinda-
hoping to have some information by tonight. I checked my emails before I got in here and they had not. So have they reached out to you?
I don't know.
Okay, well, they have your contact information. I didn't give out your cell phone this time.
Thanks.
Is there a way that if they're under their time constraints, I know things are moving pretty quick for them because their stores aren't getting
Yeah.
what's done.
Yes.
Would there be a way that we, since they're going through the process of getting into the city limits, since they've already, applied and they're trying to get everything done, if it came to it, could we make an exception, vote on an exception to let them go ahead and do this since it's just, they're wanting in, we want them in, they'll be able to tie it in there. So is there a way we could do that, or where they could go ahead and proceed?
You would have to pass an ordinance. You can only modify an ordinance by passing another ordinance.
Can
So
we-
if you were gonna change what the current ordinance says from 1999, you have to do that by an ordinance. And you can make it subject to city council approval, but now if you do that, you're gonna have that every month probably.
Yeah, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather keep it like it is to keep it.
I don't think their annexation will take that long, since they are the ones instituting it. If the city is the one instituting it, then we've gotta have elections and do all kinds of things.
But
But if
since
they're
it's a
the ones that are
voluntary.
bringing the petition before the council,
Right.
then it doesn't take as long. They do have to communicate with somebody associated with the assessor. There's a state survey place,
GIS.
commission down there that keeps track of city boundaries and city limits. And so they have to provide a document drawing the existing city limits, showing where their property is and how it's connected. And they've gotta get a letter from them okaying it before they bring it to us.
Well,
That's my understanding of the current law, so.
on that phone conversation, he had, they had this happen a couple of times previous, so they knew the process, they knew who to contact, and like I said, he was hoping, and this was Tuesday or Wednesday, I talked to them, and he was hoping to have had something today, so, because he said it's not taken that long in the past.
Yeah, I just don't want to hold them
No,
up.
I
That'd be
do
a
not.
great addition to
Yeah,
the city.
Yeah.
I agree.
But we
I
just
agree.
got to-
I think we want them to have sewer, and I think we want them in the city.
Right. At the same time, though, I don't want
We
to
want
open the
their
door,
safety.
though.
Correct.
To this being a problem down the road.
Right.
Everybody that's outside city limits trying to tie on because they're close. It's kind of a quagmire, I guess you call it. If we change that ordinance, then we're gonna set ourselves up to having a lot of people outside trying to tie on sewer lines. We don't wanna do that. So, it sounds like we should be able to do it in the time we've got allotted, or they've got allotted, so we'll see how it moves forward.
When is their GO?
They are hoping for November the 18th.
Okay,
Hang on, let me-
so if we need to do something, we can do it by the November council meeting to satisfy the 18th date.
It's November 17th, day off,
They should
but
be
that's
able
what,
to do
yeah.
all that.
The council meeting will be the 13th.
The
so-
council meeting's the 13th, so.
Yeah. So we can do anything that we need to do then to satisfy the requirement. From the street department, we had, we was discussing some flooding issues on 11th Street, over by Barcliff. Is it Barcliff? No, that's
No.
Cliff Drive.
Cliff
Drive.
Yeah, and, so the flooding issues that they had, which it was pretty bad, and, the committee agreed to, Michael had some parts, some culvert and stuff, so he was gonna do that. It wasn't gonna cost the city much, but some labor, so, we talked about that, and he was gonna go ahead and do that. And, yeah, the bridge repair that you have, also we talked about. And you had gave us some financial numbers on that earlier.
Yes, because we're gonna have to make an appropriation for that
Okay.
here in just a little bit.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Okay, anything else? If not, we're going into old business, and if you'll remember last month, when we handed this out, it was discussed to have a meeting, take it before the ordinance committee. We tried 3 different dates. Fortunately, we were able to meet last Tuesday night. You have that in front of you. You've had it since a little before 10 this morning. Of course, you all had it Tuesday night, just the typing up of it was what we were waiting on from Mr. Barham. So do we have any discussion, comments, motion to read?
I'd like to make a motion to read.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Mahon,
No.
Harris,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Shall I?
Please.
Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance setting forth rules for governing procedures for meeting of the city, Ozark City Council and for other purposes. Section 1, rules governing city council meetings. A, regular meetings. The city council shall hold 1 regular meeting per month on the second Monday of each month at 5:30 p.m. in the city council chambers, police training room located in Ozark City Hall. Special meetings of the city council may be called by the mayor or by 2/3 of the council members, provided that the notice requirements of the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act are complied with. When a holiday or general election occurs on such Monday, the regular meeting shall be held on the following Thursday at the same hour unless otherwise provided for by motion. The regular meeting time may be rescheduled by the city council in special circumstances, but when done so, the change must be made far enough in advance to allow normal public notification. B, location. The place of the city council meeting shall be in the city council chambers in the city hall unless another place has been previously set by the city council. C, special meetings. Special meetings may be called by the mayor or by 2/3 of the council members, provided that notice requirements of the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act are complied with. Such a notification shall be by personal service to each member by telephone, specifying time and place of meeting. D, executive session. An executive session may be requested by any member of the city council or the mayor. Majority vote of the city council is required to convene an executive session. Executive sessions will be permitted only for the purpose of considering the employment, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any public officer or employee. E, public notification. The city will go further than legally required to inform citizens of the items to be considered by the city council. The same shall be carried out by the city clerk recorder. The means used may include press releases or advertisements in a local newspaper, special notice to citizens who have shown a direct interest in matters to be considered, and agenda copies available at city council meetings. F, quorum. A majority of the city council shall be necessary to constitute a quorum to do business at a city council meeting. The concurring votes of the majority of those attending a meeting shall be sufficient to pass procedural motions. Ordinance and resolutions require 4 affirmative votes to pass. The mayor may vote when the mayor's vote is needed to pass any ordinance, bylaw, resolution, or motion. Under Arkansas Code annotated 1443-501, 1444-107, and 1445-105. Mayors also have a vote to establish a quorum. G, agenda. An agenda is required to be presented in time to make the local newspaper circulation schedule and will be submitted no later than 1 week before the scheduled meeting by noon on Monday prior to the Monday meeting to the press and council. Council members should strive to include any agenda items any agenda item a council wishes the city council to consider within the agenda. H, submission agenda items. Any person desiring to be placed on the city council agenda for the purpose of making conducting business with the city or requesting action by the council shall make their request and submit all pertinent information to the city clerk no later than 12 p.m. the Monday prior to the city council meeting. Parties that wish to speak or present information must be sponsored by a council member or the mayor and must state the subject matter which appertains to the request. I, ordinances and resolutions. Any party desiring to present ordinances and resolutions to the city council shall provide a copy to the city attorney who will validate and provide a final version to the council to consider. Nothing in this article shall prohibit any council member or the mayor from presenting an ordinance requiring council action to the full city council after it has been reviewed by the city attorney by adding this to the city's agenda prior to the meeting. However, this is discouraged and may be tabled by the council until their next regular meeting or called special meeting if they require additional time to review the ordinance or gather further information before acting. J, agenda additions. A new item which is requested to be added to the agenda at a city council meeting should only be considered if it requires immediate city council consideration and if the normal agenda setting process is not practical. The city council may only place such a new item on the city council's meeting agenda by suspending the rules by 2/3 vote. Such agenda addition shall be heard after the council agenda. K, meeting procedure. Agenda items at a city council meeting shall be introduced by the mayor, and if an ordinance read by the city clerk, city attorney, or clerk upon motion approved by the city council. The city department heads may present reports during the meeting to the council either by written report submitted in the timeline set forth for the agenda items or in person. An agenda applicant, city contractor, rezoning, or development applicant may present its proposal only during this presentation period, but may be recalled by the council member later to ask questions. City staff, council members, and applicants may use the electronic visual aids in the city council meeting as part of their presentation of the agenda item. City staff's presentation and an applicant's presentation, whether presented by one or more than one presenter, shall be limited to a maximum of 10 minutes unless the city council by unanimous consent or majority vote allows additional time. Commission chairpersons may conduct briefings of their respective commissioners to the council at the city council meetings. Committee reports may likewise submit written or oral reports to the council. A, public comments. Public comment at the city council shall be allowed for all members of the audience who have signed up prior to the beginning of the city council meeting. The sign-up sheet shall be located at, or shall be closed at or immediately before the mayor's gavel to begin the meeting. Speakers shall be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes to discuss a topic which falls within the city council's power to address. The public attendees of the meeting shall not be allowed to speak during the council's consideration and debate of agenda items being considered by the city council. B, courtesy and respect. All members of the public, all the city staff, and elected officials shall always accord the utmost courtesy and respect to each other. All shall refrain from comments that are harassing or amount to the personal attack against any identifiable individual, including abusive comments and derogatory remarks about the integrity, or offer any other comments that are also not limited to the discussion of the specific agenda item being considered by the council. Any member of the public who violates these standards shall be ruled out of order by the mayor, must immediately cease speaking, and shall leave the podium. L, cell phones and pagers. Cell phones must be turned off or put in silent mode and not used within the council chambers during city council meetings. Pagers must be turned off or put in silent mode within the city council chambers during city council meetings. These restrictions also apply during agenda sessions. M, virtual city council meetings authorized after proper notice has been provided to the public. City council members are authorized to assemble, gather, meet, and conduct open public meetings, including speaking, voting, and passing ordinances and resolutions through appropriate electronic means which ensure the public's right to attend by being able to listen to the proceedings and discussions. These open public meetings include city council meetings and agenda sessions, as well as the city council member committee meetings. Conduct of spectators and preservation of order. A, during city council meetings, council members shall preserve order and decorum and shall neither by conversation or otherwise delay or interrupt the proceedings. Neither shall they refuse to obey the orders of the mayor or the rules of the city council. It shall be the duty of the chief of police to be present and on official duty at all regular and special meetings of the city council. In the case of his inability to attend, the chief shall designate a certified officer to be present. C, every member of the city council desiring to speak shall address the chair and, upon recognition by the chair, shall confine herself or himself to the question under debate and shall avoid all personalities and indecorous language. A council member once recognized shall not be interrupted while speaking unless called to order by the chair, unless a point of order is raised by another member, or unless the member chooses to yield to questions from another member. If a member is called to order while he or she is speaking, the member shall cease speaking immediately until the question of order is determined. If ruled to be not in order, the member shall remain silent or shall alter his or her remark to comply with the rules of the city council. All members of the city council shall accord the utmost courtesy to each other, to the city employees and members of the public appearing before the city council, and shall always refrain from rude or derogatory remarks, reflections as to integrity, abusive comments, and statements as to motive and personalities. Council members shall confine their questions as to matters before the city council, and in debate shall confine their remarks to the issues before the city council. F, it shall be the duty of the chief of police or designated representative on the order of the presiding officer at any such meeting to forcibly, if necessary, evict any person violating the provisions of this section from the council meeting chamber. Any such violation shall subject the offender, upon conviction thereof, before the district court to a fine and/or imprisonment as prescribed by applicable law. G, financial interest. No member of the city council with a direct or indirect financial interest in any items before the city council shall participate in the discussion of or voting on such matter as according to state law. H, voting. Every member present when a question is put to a vote shall either vote yes or no, except that a member may abstain from voting if he or she has not participated in the preceding discussion of the question, except for a question necessary to clarify the meaning of the motion, resolution, or ordinance being voted upon. No questions or comments by members of the city council, including the mayor, shall be made during the voting on the pending motion, resolution, or ordinance. Council members will vote at the city council meetings in the order of their position, but with a progressively different position voting first at each meeting. I, roll call. Upon every vote, the affirmative and negative vote shall be called and shall be recorded on every motion, resolution, and ordinance. However, items which may be approved by motion or contracts and leases, which can be approved by resolution, may be grouped together and approved simultaneously with one roll call under a meeting agenda. Mayor and council members. J, subletter A, the mayor is the presiding officer and ex officio president of the city council. The mayor may vote to establish a quorum or to pass an ordinance, resolution, or motion if the mayor's vote is needed for passage. The mayor does not have the right to vote for an emergency clause on an ordinance. Emergency clause requires 6 affirmative votes by the city council to pass. The mayor has the power to veto any ordinance, resolution, or order or part thereof adopted by the city council within 5 days, Sundays excluded, of the city council vote. Before the next city council meeting, the mayor shall file at the city clerk's office a written statement of the reasons for the veto. At the first city council meeting following the veto, the city council can override the veto by 2/3 majority for affirmative votes. B, council members set the time and place for regular city council meetings, may override the mayor's appointment and removal of department heads by a 2/3 vote of the total membership, may override the mayor's veto by a 2/3 vote, and call for a special election in cities of first class to fill the vacancy of an unexpired mayor's term if the unexpired term is for more than 1 year. Council members enact ordinances and bylaws concerning municipal affairs that are consistent with state law in order to promote the health, safety, and welfare of the public, adopts a budget by ordinance or resolution for the operation of the city or town by February 1st of each year, have the management, and control of the city finances and all real and personal property belonging to the city, sets the rates for city utilities and establishes fees for city services, and may establish and abolish various commissions to manage, operate such services as parks, utilities, and airport, advertising, promotion, planning, and others as provided by state law. K, procedures and parliamentary rules. A, precedence of motions. The city council should follow the precedence and classification of motions as given in the most recent edition of the Arkansas Municipal League's procedural rules for Arkansas municipal officials. In the event a matter is not covered by the procedural rules for Arkansas municipal officials, the most recent edition of Robert's Rules of Order shall apply. On questions of appeal, a majority of those present is required to overturn a ruling by the chair. B, motions to be stated by the chair or the withdrawal. When a motion is made and seconded, it shall be stated by the mayor before debate. After being stated by the mayor, a motion may not be withdrawn by the mover without consent of the members seconding it and approval of the city council. C, reconsideration. After the decision of any question, any member of the prevailing side may request a reconsideration of any action at the same or next succeeding meeting, provided, however, that a resolution authorizing or relating to any contract may be reconsidered at any time before final execution thereof. A motion to reconsider requires a simple majority vote for passage. After a motion for reconsideration has once been acted on, no other motion for reconsideration thereof shall be made without unanimous consent. L, readings. All ordinances shall be read aloud at 3 different council meetings unless the city council votes to suspend the rules. Following guidelines for reading ordinances are recommended. After the ordinance's first reading, a council member may briefly point out potential concerns or benefits from the proposed ordinance, but should refrain from attempting to persuade each other or arrive at a final consensus. B, unless there is clearly no opposition or concern about the ordinance, it should be read and open for public discussion during at least 2 city council meetings. C, complex ordinances that need further clarification or drafting work should be referred to the Ordinance Review Committee. M, items tabled indefinitely. Any item tabled indefinitely may be taken from the table by a majority vote of the city council during the calendar year in which it was tabled indefinitely. All items tabled indefinitely and remaining on the table at the end of the calendar year, shall be deemed denied and rejected for appellate and all other purposes on December 31st and shall not be reconsidered by the city council in the future unless brought forward as a new item. N, notification and attendance. All council members, representatives of news media who have requested notification and other persons who have shown a direct interest in matters to be considered at a committee meeting shall be notified by the city council committee meetings. Committee meetings shall be held when possible at times that allow members of the committee to attend. In order for a committee to make an official recommendation to the city council, a majority of the committee members must agree on that recommendation. Council members who are not members of a particular city council committee may generally participate in the meeting of that committee except for voting on committee recommendations, but the chairperson may rule otherwise. O, city council representation on other governmental groups. When it is necessary to appoint a council member to an external board, commission, or committee, selection of the council member shall be made by the mayor and confirmed by a majority vote of the city council. The selection shall be made by nomination and vote in a public session. Any council member may nominate himself or herself or any other member of the city council, and no second is required. Each council member shall vote by naming his or her choice by voice vote if there is more than one nominee for a position. A majority vote of the city council shall be required for election. P, mayor and council relationship. A, definition of authority. In exercising its legislative responsibilities, the city council may approve policy which represents broad statements of its intentions, approve plans and programs, and manage the financial aspects of the city through its budgetary powers. Mayor's empowered to hire capable personnel within the approved wage and salary policy, to plan and establish schedules, and to train and supervise and terminate employees. B, definition of responsibilities. The mayor has the principal responsibility for directing the operations of the city government and for advising and assisting the city council in its deliberations. In connection with this latter responsibility, the city council expects and requests the mayor shall furnish the city council with whatever data, information, and material it may need to properly carry out its functions in an informed manner. City council also expects the mayor to abide by the Arkansas Code of Ethics. C, city council mayor cooperation. Efficient management of the city can only exist through mutual understanding and complete cooperation between the city council and the mayor. The mayor's performance cannot be of the best unless the mayor is given the latitude to exercise independent judgment in executing policies of the city council. The city council acknowledges that obligation and gives the mayor the latitude of judgment and discretion and expects faithful performance in carrying out the policies of the city council. While open communication between the city council and city personnel is encouraged, it shall be understood that the administrative authority for the management of the city rests with the mayor. Members of the city council should refrain as individuals from giving specific direction or instruction to city personnel pertaining to the discharge of assigned duties. Q, Code of Ethics. As the governing body of the city of Ozark, Arkansas, we, the mayor, and council members adhere to the following ethics principles and pledge to conduct our affairs accordingly. A, serve others, not ourselves. B, use resources with efficiency and economy. C, treat all people fairly. D, use the power of our position for the well-being of our constituents. E, create an environment of honesty, openness, and integrity. R, business transactions. Members of the city council and the mayor occupy positions of public trust. All business transactions of such officials dealing in any manner with public funds, either directly or indirectly, must be subject to the scrutiny of public opinion, both as to legality and propriety of the transaction. S, conflict of interest. The members of the city council and mayor should refrain from making use of special knowledge or information before it is made widely available to the general public. Shall refrain from making or influencing decisions involving business associates, customers, clients, competitors, immediate family members, and shall comply with all lawful actions, directives, orders of duly constituted municipal officers as may be issued in the normal and lawful discharge of their duties as municipal officers. Nothing herein, however, shall serve to deny the members of the city council and the mayor the legal rights and privileges available to all Ozark's residents. T, responsibility to all citizens. Members of the city council and the mayor shall conduct themselves so as to bring credit upon the city as a whole and as to set an example of good ethical conduct for all citizens of the community. Members of the city council and the mayor shall bear in mind at all times that their responsibility is to the entire electorate, citizens, and residents of Ozark. Shall refrain from actions benefiting special interest groups at the expense of citizens, residents, and the city as a whole, and shall do everything in their power to ensure equal and impartial law enforcement throughout the city without respect to race, creed, color, gender, sexual orientation, religion, gender identity, or the economic or social position of individual citizens. In an effort to allow the public full knowledge of financial and personal interests, the members of the city council and the mayor are expected to disclose annually all real estate holdings in Ozark and the Ozark planning area, and any business or financial interest which could affect or be affected by the decisions of the city council. Such disclosure should be made in writing to the city clerk in January of each year. U, orientation of new council members. City council, mayor, city attorney, city clerk, treasurer, and appropriate city staff shall meet with and conduct one or more orientation sessions with newly elected council members in January after each general election, or within 1 month after a special election in which a new council member is elected. Each newly elected council member shall attend the orientation sessions. V, ongoing orientation. The new council member be made aware of and provided the opportunity to attend the Arkansas Municipal League training and conference events, and provided training opportunities relevant to their committee assignments and general council duties. W, citizens committees, boards, and commissions. The city council may authorize citizen advisory boards, committees, and commissions to assist the city council in discharging its responsibilities more effectively. Authorization will be made by 2/3 majority vote of the city council. Members of the boards, committees, and commissions will be in accordance with state statute established by ordinance or by oral nomination and council approval.
That's twice you've got to read that.
That's a
I
second
think you
time.
did it faster this time. Do I have a motion to dispense with the second and third reading and read by title only?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Tyler,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Baker,
No.
Meyer,
Yes.
Mahon,
No.
Harris.
Yes.
2/3. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance setting forth rules for governing procedure for meetings of the Ozark City Council and for other purposes. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance setting forth rules for governing procedure for meetings of the Ozark City Council and for other purposes.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Can I discuss it first?
Okay.
Okay, so the first one that I have, and I swear it's not as much as I had last time, so. So to call a special meeting, it says that we need a 2/3 vote of the city council members. State statute says only 3 members. Are we going above and beyond the statute on that intentionally?
I don't know. That's a good question. What statute is it that you're looking at? Do you have the number?
I know that I've read it before.
I'm sorry.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
If you can get it to me,
So-
I'll
so
certainly
by-
look at it, but
yeah. I
my
mean,
understanding was it was 2/3, and that's what
okay.
that's the way it was set in the Clarksville
I,
ordinance that we,
so I understand
went
that.
off of.
And I've seen that, but I know that the state, whenever I was reading the state statute, it says on special meetings that it can be called by 3 members of the council. So, and then, so it
Well,
said,
that's only half, so that's not 2/3.
I understand, that's why I'm
So,
asking
yeah,
the question.
but if
Are
you'll
we
give me the
intentional, because we can
statute.
intentionally go
We
above and
can
beyond.
go
Yeah.
above state.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is are we
I don't
intentionally
think it's
doing that?
intentional that we go
Okay.
over this thing.
So C, it also is the same thing, it says 2/3. On I, on page 3, cell phones and pagers, it says that all phones must be turned off and not used in council chambers. Are we restricting the rights of the public there to do audio or video recording with their phones?
I mean, they have audio and video recording.
I
When
understand
you
that.
display it on the internet, they can record it there, but in the council meeting, they probably ought not be.
I
I mean,
understand.
if it goes
So-
off,
So if it's put on silent, but to tell them that they can't use it, because most people.
it says put off, turned off, or put in silent mode.
It's either or.
And not used.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is if they're wanting to record audio or video that is using, and most people today use their phones to audio, video record.
That was the purpose of us updating our system to have it and then having it online as well. So I don't understand why someone, if it's online and it's here, they can FOIA it, why would they need to be doing that in here?
Okay, so again.
I'm just
So
asking.
my thought on reading that is that you are limiting the rights to the public. They have the right to videotape
No, they're
and audio tape public meetings.
No, the city has an obligation to provide video and audio recordings of the public meetings.
Okay?
But
I mean, if you're telling me that's the way it is, then that's okay, but I'm just saying that to be, the way that I understand it is that we would be restricting the rights of the public because they have the right to videotape or record all public meetings.
I don't know of any law that says that.
Okay. So on the next page, 4G, financial interest, I would like to know exactly what does indirect financial mean? What's the legal thought behind indirect?
I can give you an example.
That would be fine.
If you're in business with someone and that someone has business before the council, that would be an indirect, because it's not you directly, but you're tied up with and financially interested in that person. So that would be an indirect.
Okay.
That's just an example. That's not a be-all, end-all example, but that's an example.
So using that same example, let's say for instance, my brother had business with the city council. I have no financial interest in his business, although
No, but
we're
as a
brothers.
family member under the ethics rules, you'd have to abstain.
Okay, so
Because he's your,
that would still be considered an
he's within
indirect.
the second degree of consanguinity, so
Okay, so that,
family-wise, relationship-wise, so yeah, you'd have to abstain.
okay, that's fine. That's what I needed to know. Under, P, sorry, I don't know what page I'm on. 3 from the back, P. That whole section has nothing to do with meetings. So I don't know why we're putting it in the meeting ordinance.
So it is there in black and white if anyone in the future has a question.
We discussed taking that out the other night, and but some of the other members decided that it was good informational purpose for it to be there, so we left it out, or decided to leave it in. But it was discussed to remove that section.
If it's left here, then it's right in, easy to find, and it's right in your face.
But even though it doesn't pertain to meetings.
It says under the purposes.
The next page, T, U, and V, it's basically the same question, is none of those have anything to do with meetings.
Well, I think that's principally at meetings.
That one I can maybe see, the other one not so much. But anyway, that's all that I marked, and you answered my questions to them, so I'm not gonna sit here and pick it apart. But there is a few things that I would like to say, is with this ordinance, with passing it tonight, you're looking at an ordinance and you're trying to say how city council meetings should be ran, and you're setting direct specific rules. However, we're not using those rules to get this approved. We're not abiding by the same rules that we're trying to set forth going forward. So keep that in mind. So that is an interesting thing, that we're trying to pass rules and we're not using the rules that we're trying to pass. The other thing that I have is, in the meeting the other night, on Tuesday night, excuse me, my mouth is a little dry. It was specifically said on some things, and I listened to the audio, specifically said on some things that, oh, that's a state statute, we just need to go ahead and take that out. And then on other things, you said, that's a state statute, but let's just leave that in there. So I don't understand what the logic is of, let's just pick and choose what state statutes we leave in and out of the ordinance. I understand the thought that was said, excuse me.
Well, it may be helpful to new council members coming on to understand all of that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is I understand the thought is so that it's all written in one document, but we all had mentioned the size of the document and taking out anything that's redundant. And I mean, like the location of the city council meeting is in there 3 times. So, I mean, there's a lot of redundancy. But again, not trying to pick it apart. I'm just trying to tell you the way that I see it, and the way I'm viewing it is that if we pass this tonight, then we are not doing what the ordinance was set forth to do. And that's to give the public plenty of time. Sure, it was on the agenda that I received on Wednesday, but I didn't even receive the written copy until today at noon-ish.
But you received a written copy a month ago, and it's been out there for a month with a few tweaks as to numbering and as to conforming one pronoun with the other pronouns in that paragraph. I mean, it's ticky-tacky stuff that we've...
Well, and that's another thing that I want to say too, is we have council members that are like, well, let's just go ahead and pass it, and we can amend it if we want to amend it later. So, I mean, I don't understand why we want to pass something with the intention that we could possibly have to amend it later, instead of everybody saying, yeah, we should, you know.
Because none of it's gonna be written in stone anyway.
Well,
And
you're
no matter
right.
how you word it or how you write it, it's not written in stone.
You're right.
It will, anything and everything will be changed down the road.
Everything. You're absolutely right.
So,
But we can write it the best of intentions that we have today.
that's
And
right.
I don't feel like it's written in the best of intentions for today. So that's all I've got to say. I'm done. Thank you.
Before we go any further, Brooke, are you picking up David? Because I got someone that has messaged me, please ask Mr. Mahon to fix his mic.
I thought she
Were
had my
you-
microphone turned
okay,
up, so I
well,
didn't turn it up.
I'm just telling you what I got sent.
Okay. Better?
David, I'd like to say, I respect your opinion. That's your opinion, and that's fine. That's the way you think. I appreciate that. But at the same time, it doesn't seem to be the opinion of the majority of the council tonight. But I respect your reasoning, I understand it, but can I go along with it? No, I think that we need to go ahead and pass this ordinance. And that's my opinion.
So the purpose, to go along with the thoughts of the council, you're absolutely right. To go along with the thoughts of the citizens, maybe not.
Well, once again, that's your opinion.
Okay.
Do we have any more discussion? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lauren?
Tyler,
No.
I couldn't hear you.
No.
Can you speak up?
Tyler,
No.
Maker,
No.
Melton,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Mahon,
No.
Meyer,
Yep.
3-3, you may vote if you want to pass it, or you may not vote if you don't want it to pass.
We need to move forward, and I think it is time to pass it, so my vote is yes. Okay, under new business, we have the ordinance 2023-13. It's the tax levy for the Fireman's Pension Fund. I need a motion to read, please.
I'll make a motion.
You're gonna have to speak up. We're not hearing you. I'm not hearing you up here.
I make
So
a motion.
please,
And I will second.
thank you.
okay. Meyer,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Maker,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
An ordinance levying a tax of 1 mil on all real estate and personal property in the city of Ozark, Arkansas, for the benefit of the Ozark Fireman's Pension Fund, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, Section 1, that a tax of 1 mil is hereby levied by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, for the express benefit of the Ozark Fireman's Pension Fund on all real estate and personal property within the City of Ozark, Arkansas, for the year 2023 collected in 2024.
Need a motion to dispense with the second and third reading by title only.
So moved.
I'll second.
An ordinance levying a tax
No, wait,
of,
wait.
oh, sorry, gotta have the roll call. Sorry.
Mahon,
Yes.
Jumped the gun.
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Maker,
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, you may.
An ordinance levying a tax of 1 mil on all real estate and personal property in the city of Ozark, Arkansas, for the benefit of the Ozark Fireman's Pension Fund. An ordinance levying a tax of 1 mil on all real estate and personal property in the city of Ozark, Arkansas, for the benefit of the Ozark Fireman's Pension Fund.
No discussion. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Harris,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Maker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-13 passes. Ordinance 2023-14 is the tax levy for the volunteer fire department.
Motion to read ordinance 2023-14.
Need a second, please?
I'll second it.
Melton,
Yes.
Maker,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
An ordinance levying a volunteer tax of 1.2 mils on all real estate and personal property in the city of Ozark, Arkansas, for the Volunteer Fire Department Fund of the city of Ozark, Arkansas. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, Section 1, that a volunteer tax of 1 2/10 mils is hereby levied by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas on all real estate and personal property within the City of Ozark, Arkansas for the benefit and use of the City of Ozark, Arkansas Volunteer Fire Department for the year 2023, collected in 2024.
Need a motion to dispense with second and third reading, please.
I'll make a motion to suspend.
Need a second?
Second.
Mahon,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
An ordinance levying a volunteer tax of 1.2 mils on all real estate and personal property in the City of Ozark, Arkansas for the Volunteer Fire Department Fund of the City of Ozark, Arkansas. An ordinance levying a volunteer tax of 1.2 mils on all real estate and personal property in the City of Ozark, Arkansas for the Volunteer Fire Department Fund of the City of Ozark, Arkansas.
No discussion. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve 2023-14.
I need a second.
I'll second it. Yep.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-14 did pass. Next is ordinance 2023-15, tax levy for general fund. I need a motion to read.
So moved.
I
Second.
need a second.
Second. Sorry.
Harris,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
An ordinance levying a tax of 5 mil on all real estate and personal property in the City of Ozark, Arkansas for the benefit of the Ozark General Fund. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, Section 1, that a tax of 5 mils is hereby levied by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas for the express benefit of the Ozark General Fund on all real estate and personal property within the City of Ozark, Arkansas for the year 2023, collected in 2024.
I need a motion to dispense with second and third reading.
I'll make a motion.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Meyer,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
With no discussion, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve 2023-15.
I need a second.
I will second that.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Next, I have asked Shelby Beasley and Teresa White to do a presentation tonight. This is regarding the East End Park, Gar Creek Bandstand, whichever you want to call it. If you've driven down by there the last few days, you can see a lot of activity, and I do believe that Ms. Teresa has some information to hand out at this time.
It's thick, but it won't take long.
I've already seen it.
Do we have a mic for her?
I'm loud.
Yeah, but for the audience, yes.
I thought it was upside down.
Here, let her have mine.
It's tall and as loud as we both are. I'm Teresa White, and I'm with the Ozark Pride and Beautification Committee. And this is Shelby Beasley with Main Street Ozark. And what you have in front of you is just a presentation that I presented on the 29th of September to Main Street Board. If you followed the Ozark Pride and Beautification Committee, this all started like back in February. We planted like 200 trees throughout the city, in the Gar Creek Park, Reed Park, West End Park. And I have been checking them, and most of them are doing pretty good. We probably lost maybe 25 to 30 trees. But even through the summer, we watered. So this has been a community effort since day one. There is no way the four of us on the Ozark Pride and Beautification Committee could have watered all those trees. Or we could have kept the flowers alive, or this summer, or any of that. all of what we do requires the community to help us. Our Pride and Beautification Committee, our mission statement states, building a better hometown and enhancing the city of Ozark by implementing and maintaining landscapes, trails, public art exhibits, litter control, and signage with strategic community partnership. So as we were working down at Gar Creek at the other end of town, I don't know about you, but I hate for a park that's been here for like 100 years to just be handed over to hoodlums. I don't want that to happen. You know, I don't believe in giving up ground. It's worth fighting for. And so we came with some ideas. We went to Shelby first as far as what can we do down there as far as design, as far as painting. I mean, it had phallic symbols all over the benches and all over the park tables. It was awful, guys. I mean, it was really, really bad. And so we discovered that there was this group or a business called, what is it? Some Girls in a Mural. I always want to say Two Sisters. Some Girls in a Mural. And we heard about them just in passing, but they go to small towns all across pretty much the South Plains so far, Colorado, Kansas, and they go into these, and if you want to, you can look at the one that, it's stapled together, and it's got the look of the, anyway, yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, you flip through and you'll see all these different pictures, and these are the ones that these girls have done all across Colorado, really, a lot of them. But you can go to Some Girls in a Mural, that's their website, and you go to their gallery, and you can look at all the ones they've done across all different kinds of places. So anyway, we reached out to them, talked to them. We also worked with a color palette. Okay, we're gonna do paint, we're gonna paint down there, we're gonna do some art. What colors are we gonna use? And so we went with the vintage waterfront colors. And I don't know if you know the Franks. They're fairly new here in town. She is an interior decorator by degree. So we went to her and asked her to come up with some color palettes for us so that we could submit them and look at them and then turn them over to Some Girls in a Mural to see if, you know, these were colors that they thought they could maybe produce something with. We didn't even have any idea what we're going to do at that point. And so we, as Ozark Pride and Beautification Committee, we spent $1,500 of our $4,000 annual budget just for paint. And then we spent, there were probably 50 different families that came down there on the weekends, at night, on Sunday afternoons. They'd bring their kids down there, and the kids would play on, which is a whole lot better playground equipment than it did have. Thank you. And the kids would play on the playground equipment, and we would paint, and did the bathrooms, we did all the benches, we did all the tables, all the roofs. If you go down there and look at it, you'll see it. And then we decided, hey, why don't we get the high school art department involved? Why don't we have them come up with some ideas of what to paint on these buildings? And so you have a group, it looks like this. If you guys want to, can I let them see it too? This is just some of the artwork the kids put together. And the goal is we sent this to, they had to do Arkansas River Valley flora and fauna. That was their commission. They had to do artwork specifically unique to the River Valley. And so they presented, I think I might have another set of that if you want to take it over there. And so we sent this to Some Girls in a Mural. Now, And we had to pay a $250 fee to get them to look at it and come up with a design. We knew ultimately we were going to go to the Main Street Board to get money, because we don't have that kind of money. And we knew we would need to work together with another city committee to get that done. So, for those of you out here, this is what this stage looked like 10 days ago. Okay? As far as we knew in the Main Street meeting for the board, we thought we're just going to need a little paint, okay, and a little woodwork. But as would soon be, Chris Brockett allowed one of his workers, his name is Philip McElroy, to go out there and look at it, and he said, we'll look and see what needs to be done, but we can probably get it fixed pretty easy. Now, at this time, we thought the ladies weren't coming till the 3rd week of October. We thought we had a month, okay? This is what the bathroom looked like before. That was after we painted it. You don't want to know what it looked like before that. We found out on the Monday after the meeting on the 29th, oh my gosh, Gar Creek stage was literally rotted out. I mean, it's about ready to fall down. Good thing we found out before the girls painted it. So we're like, okay. And in the meantime, I found out that day that the day they were coming was actually today, okay? We had 7 to 8 days to make this happen. Now, folks, I want you to understand, this is a lot of work. That is a lot of work. And so Chris Brockett said, I'll let you have Philip, and we'll see what he can do. So by Tuesday, it looked like this. In 24 hours, they tore all the wood off. He did, all the wood off the side of it. And then he said, I don't paint, but I'll put up, we had to buy metal. We had to find a way to put metal on the bandstand. And so at this meeting, at the meeting where the board approved that they would pay for the fee of actually the paint, we had to come up with somebody to pay for the actual repair of the stage. And Miss Roxy, at the meeting on the 29th of September, she said, whatever the repairs are, I think I had permission up to $10,000, but we didn't think it was going to cost anywhere near that. Okay, we had no idea. So she gets with Philip. He finds some metal he can get. I don't even know what the cost was, but he could get it in time, and by Thursday afternoon, it looked like this. All the metal was put up on the side of the building. Folks, this is like in 36 hours from the time it was tore down. Now, if you go by it right now, this is what it looks like. It's already been painted. Philip had a guy named Andy Dwyer. Shelby was out of town. Roxy was busy. I was freaking out, and I'm going, guys, Philip doesn't paint. He says he doesn't paint, but he knows a guy that does. I just needed somebody to tell me that I could tell the guy to paint. I had paint already. And so Philip puts me in touch with Andy. Andy goes, yeah, I'll do it. So Thursday afternoon, or Friday morning, he fills his truck up because he has to pressure wash it first to get all the oil off of it, off the metal, and make sure it's clean. He loads up, he pressure washes it. I drop the paint off down there. And we also had to have an acrylic sealer to make the paint adhere to the metal, which I went to Fort Smith and purchased that, Van Buren, with money out of the Pride and Beautification Committee. I'm watching the $4,000 go down real fast. And then by Friday afternoon, he had the acrylic sealer on there. He says, I'll be back in the morning to have it painted. That was on Saturday morning. By the time I got there at 10 o'clock, this was already done. This is what it looks like right now. And folks, this is what it's going to look like by Friday, by the end of the week. This, and Buffalo Letting actually went out in his boat and took over 30 photographs to get a venue that, where you could see the bridge, the train tracks, the city, what do you call it? The scene of the city, the landscape of the city. And we sent those to some girls in a mural, and this was their rendering that they sent back. This is the bathroom. This is what she's working on right now, the bottom picture, and you can pass that around to them if you want to. That's artwork from our high school students, and they're going to be going down there. They have been asking us, when are they going to paint? When are they going to put our pictures up on the bathroom? And we said, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Well, folks, she arrived here today at 2 o'clock, and you want to drive by there tonight on your way home? What she does is they come in and they do the back, as much as they can, and then they, at night, once it gets dark, they use a projector, and they project all the intricate stuff onto the buildings, and then they use that to, and they have a scissor jack thing that they use to go up high and everything. But what I want you to say, and I know we've listened to a lot of people talk tonight, but I want you to know, and I cry a lot, so I'll just warn you. My husband's going, yes, she does. If it had not been for all of us working together, all different committees working together, staying in contact with each other, responding to each other, and making decisions to make this happen, it wouldn't be happening. And all the work that we had done already as Pride Beautification to beautify the park just probably would have just gone to waste. Now, the good news is Shelby with Main Street, the money people, she actually delivered the contract, and we paid half of it today, and the other half when they're done. Yes. On top of this, once the artwork is done, since we've had such a problem with graffiti down at that end of the city, they also do a UV protectant on top of both buildings that'll protect from the sun and from it bleaching out. And in addition, they put a graffiti protection on top of that. And that is so that it's easier to remove the graffiti without removing the artwork. And this has been done, like I said, only 3 other cities in Arkansas have worked with them so far. That is Chester, Beard and Lady Inn, Mountainburg, and West Fork. And the people from Main Street, Arkansas, a couple of their board people were there in the building. You want to tell them what they said?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so whenever Teresa came and spoke about this at our board meeting, Main Street, Arkansas was actually in town working on some businesses that are going to get some small grants to revitalize their area. And they had said that our current governor, Sarah Huckabee, is going to absolutely love this because she's really promoting the outdoor scene in Arkansas. And so they are very excited to see this done. They said, you better tag us in this so we can get this up to Sarah for her to see. And so some girls in a mural, they have quite the following on Facebook too. So I think it's a good opportunity for our little community for them to get to share that and us get to be a part of their journey and promote us as well, not only on their Facebook, but their website.
That's right. And if you go on their website, there's a map that shows you every place that they've done these. And so I guess what I wanted to say is in support of, I hope that we can finish out the stage. There's 2 more sides that have to be done. They don't have to be done immediately, but I would like to see those done and see that. I don't know, Mr. McDaniel told us that we also put on the rendering that Ozark was established in 1837, because he said that is when the first post was established here. So that's our official date of Ozark, is 1837. And so I would just like to say that thank you to everybody. just to Main Street, to Miss Roxy, and to Philip and Andy, who I've never even met, for all their hard work, and for everybody just taking back this ground. It's a good thing, and I thank you. Say anything else?
I will say these ladies have worked diligently. They have blown up my phone. We have texts like you would not believe. But as you can see, the end result is worth it. I do want to let the council know. I know they brought up about the sides. And when I did tell them at that meeting, I was thinking, yeah, we can probably get it all done for, about $3,200. I thought I was clear. Yeah, that didn't work. That's probably what I get for thinking on that building, because when Philip went down there, that building is in worse shape than we realized. And that is the gateway into our city from the east end. And I do want to give you some information real quick tonight. Philip sent me a bid today to finish the back side and the west side, covering all exposed wood with metal, is $7,000. We paid for that one side $4,200. So obviously that is over my 10. So if the council, I would like for you to think about that. Teresa did say she doesn't expect it to be done right away. But guys, as much visibility as that is going to bring into our area, I would like for you to consider. Let's looking at our budget and see if it's possible for us to go ahead and get this done, because
One more thing. I'm sorry. I'll do it real fast. Just within the last 3 weeks, down at Guard Creek, I don't know if you know it or not, but 2 weekends ago, we had over 125 families come from all over Arkansas. They stayed in our hotels. They ate at our restaurants. They stayed at our Airbnbs. They brought in their $50,000 motorboats so that they could, it was a bass tournament that was done at Guard Creek. Okay? And that was before any of this work was done to the building. So, yes. And then we had bluegrass in the park last Saturday night, and I sent Shelby pictures. She was out of town, and I said, Shelby, there's so many people down here. That it was packed, folks. And so and I know we have a brand new bandstand, and I love that, and it's fabulous. But I think these two have very different following, and they're for two totally different type of things. And especially with Guard Creek being right on Highway 65. It is our gateway coming in from the east. Everybody sees it. And so I just wanted to add that. It does get used.
It does. So you have the dollar amount there. If that is something you want to wait till next month, that's fine to get more information, but I would like for you to look into that. Philip has the siding that will, we felt like it wouldn't be the best thing to go in with a light color, so he has gotten with Metters, and they can get it's an off brown, and that way it won't fade as much, won't get dirty looking. So know that dollar amount is out there. I do highly encourage you to go down there and look at that east end. And I'm just going to take this moment on this project alone. This lady right here has gone above and beyond to make this happen for Ozark. I know Shelby and I had the financial end of it, but Teresa and the Pride and Beautification team, they have poured their heart into this. So thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Mayor, what we have to do to move forward with that? We've got this much done on it. I'd hate to see it not be finished.
Like I said, Philip told me that he could get it completely done. Now, the back door, if you're familiar with that at all down there, like I said, that building is old. He would have to make the door a little smaller, but now would be the time to do that. The door, he said, would have to be a 3 by 6, and that's not gonna really make that much difference, honestly. But he said he can get both sides done, anything that is showing wood, and that's at the top and on the side, he would wrap in metal as well. So that would be completely done for $7,000 is the bid he gave me today.
And that's in addition to how much that we
We spent $4,200 on that side, because that east side,
Yeah.
when we walked up to there that Friday, Philip just took his finger and touched that wood, and it was at that point that I knew we were in trouble, because it was worse than we thought. So it took extra work there, having to strip it all. So, that was exactly $4,200.
The longer we wait, the more expensive it's gonna get too. It's like everything else is.
So, I mean, the seven and the 4,200, I mean, that's 11,200, so.
And I will be,
honestly,
Michael
honestly,
and
there's
I-
always a contingency too, so.
Right, and Michael and I have looked at that, we've needed to invest in that, but we just didn't put any effort into it, honestly. We've focused on other areas, and like Teresa did mention 2 weeks ago when that fishing tournament was in here, guys, it was amazing the crowd that brought in. But it was time for the bandstand, to get some attention, so that's where we are.
I recommend we move forward with doing this. I think it's a win-win for.
What do we need to do? Is it just a motion or?
You got a motion, I guess.
Okay,
To allow
I would,
me to write a check, or Marla to write it, me sign it for the 7,000, which, like you said, the
So-
project.
so for total project, I would like to make a motion to spend up to
Well, Randy had a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Didn't matter.
Okay, well,
However you wanna
somebody,
do it. Go with David's.
Okay.
Okay.
Same.
I would like to make a motion to approve up to $13,000 total expenditure on the East Side Park bandstand.
I'll second that.
and are you all okay with the color that Philip recommended for the other siding?
Does that go well with your color scheme?
Yes, we're actually going to ask the lady what her recommendation is. Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Tyler,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Yes.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Mahon.
Yes.
Guys, thank you. Thank you very much.
That gives you 1,800 and, extras if we need it.
Next on the agenda is the appropriation for the mitigation grant. You know, we brought this to your attention that we had been awarded this grant. How this works is we will be out the full amount, which is, you see it there, the 130,000, and then the state's share is the 97,545, leaving the city to pay 32,515. So we will be out that money, and then they reimburse like they do on any other grant. So it was not in our budget this year. That's why we brought it to you all asking if we could apply for it. So now we need a motion. We needed to know that we can approve this.
I got one question, Roxy.
Okay?
Well, just reading this, it says it has to be finished by April 1st. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes, it does. What we are waiting on right now, because that is core property, we are waiting on our permit. The day that we got this and found out, Michael and I sat down with the Corps, we've got our permit in, we are just waiting on the approval.
Any time frame on how long it'll take to do this?
They know that we have this date that has to be completed by, so, they did assure us that they would push it through. And because of the past drainage issues that we've had there, they have been on site to see this, we have sent pictures, they're very well aware of the situation, so therefore, they know the sense of urgency for this as well.
Okay.
It looks like we can also apply for an extension if we do it 14 days before the end of the period of performance, if that should happen, so I believe we're covered. I think they can get it done in that time frame, but if we can't, we have another way we can go to make sure we do get it finished, so.
Do we we know how fast after the April 1st that we turn in our reimbursement packet that we get reimbursed?
It's usually, in the past, you're gonna get it within 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's a pretty good, for me, that's a
That's
pretty
pretty
good
quick, yeah.
turnaround. Yes, that's providing all the paperwork's filled out,
Yeah.
everything is in. Because I will say Marla stays on top of that, of when she sends it in, we'll follow up, hey, where's our money
Yeah, I understand.
situation? So, we've had good luck with it in the past.
So I make a motion to appropriate the mitigation grant funds of $130,060.
I'll second that.
Harris,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yeah.
I now need a motion to add to the agenda the resolution 2023-10. This is in regards to the Kimbrough building.
Actually, that was on the agenda and considered,
That's what I thought, it was
and
tabled
was left
before.
on the table, never voted on.
Okay, so it's my fault. I was
So
looking just,
I
okay.
don't think you have to add it.
I don't
think
have
you
to
can
add,
Have
okay.
a motion to bring it back from the table.
Can I get a copy of that? I don't have it.
Yeah, it's before the,
It's,
I got an
thank you.
early copy.
Oh, goodness.
here, can you
Sorry.
get him one out of
Oh,
those? Thank you.
Thank you.
So I need a motion to bring that back to the table.
I'll make a motion to bring it back.
Need a second, please?
I'll second it.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Mahon,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
you want me to read it?
Please.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Selecting a Professional Engineer for Services Related to the Kimbrough Building, Authorizing the Mayor to Negotiate a Fee and Authorizing Payment thereof." Section 1, the City Council finds that Lee King, a licensed professional engineer, possesses the experience and skill requisite for the planning and remediation of the Kimbrough Building located at 218 West Commercial Street in Ozark. It would be beneficial to the citizens of Ozark and the city to remediate such building as opposed to raising it. Such expenditures for engineering services are hereby approved.
Need a motion to approve if we do not have any discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We don't have to dispense a second, third.
No, it's on the
Resolution.
resolution. Yeah.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. David did.
Harris,
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Under public input, Ms. Linda Eastep, if you will come to the podium, please.
I no longer need to talk.
Okay.
I will until next meeting.
Okay. David had sent me a message that he asked to have a minute on the announcements, so before I get mine done, David, you have the floor.
Thank you. So I would like to say one thing, and it's happened to me, I guess, since I've taken this office, is when somebody brings me something that they think is wrong, I investigate it, and I always have, and I always will. However, I will say that I would like to apologize to Nathan and Sarah Rodriguez. I feel like they was unfairly targeted, and it was because somebody asked me to investigate something that I feel is unwarranted. And as I had told you before, is I'm good, I've investigated what they've claimed, and I'm done. And I'm not gonna do it again, so I apologize to y'all if you've obviously felt unfairly targeted. It is not directed at you, it is totally directed at, I mean, if somebody tells me there's something wrong, I'm gonna investigate it. However, again, I think it's been unwarranted, so I apologize for that for y'all. That's all I've got.
Okay, our employees of the quarter for the community center, Ruthie Qualls, the fire department, Jason Hall, police department, Tyler Williams. Congratulations, Officer Williams is here with us tonight. Street department, Robert Gresham, and in the water department, Josh Rawson. Ooh, And while Tyler is here, thank you for what you do, and we appreciate you. That was well-deserved, as they all are. Have a few announcements here. We were notified last week from the Parks and Tourism that we have made the finals for the grant with the splash pad and the new playground equipment and new handicap bathrooms that are located out here at the softball field. Brooke and I will be doing a presentation in Little Rock on October the 27th at 9:50 that morning. So say a little good prayer for us, because we are up against several other cities. Most of them are bigger cities, but I told Brooke this afternoon we've got to lay it on thick for them, so we can do that. As you all know, you've got to drive on the new Highway 64 project. Roads are 1,000% better. They should be complete within the next 5 to 7 days. I talked to them last night. They've got 3 to 4 days to get finished, and then they've got to come back and do some patchwork. So thank everyone for your patience. There was just a few negative comments, but other than that, something that had been well needed, well deserved. The only thing that I'm going to advise you, and this goes right back at me, be careful out there, because now that there's no bumps, it's easy to kind of speed a little bit. That's all I'll say.
And our police employee of the month will get you.
Yeah, but he will, yeah. Our fall cleanup was a tremendous success. I want to thank the citizens that did set their stuff out and made their place look better, made our city look better. I do appreciate Cards for the extra work in picking that up, and I will say that they did that this time themselves. We didn't have to have the street guys out helping, or no volunteers in the past like Mr. Melton has done the 5 days been out there. So thank them for that. Want to give a shout out to Teresa, the Ozark Pride and Beautification, Teresa White, Lindsay Fultz, Evelyn Faulkner. Guys, they did a fabulous kickoff last Saturday to start this off. There were 45 people that participated in this cleanup, picked up 34 30-gallon trash bags. Just thank you to everyone that donated door prizes, worked on this. I will tell you that this committee would graciously take 2, if not more, people to help them on their committees so they're not pulled so thin. But Teresa, thank you. And TF, I know you got to do the voluntold things, so on behalf of my husband who does that, thank you. Mr. Melton was there again all day with us there on that day as well, so thank you guys. Scare on the Square is October 31st. I want to thank Charlie Metters. If you were there last year with us, unfortunately it was very dark down there, and Metters is going to donate lights for us that night, so that will help. And the fire department giving away hot dogs on the school street station, so be sure and stop by there. And I've had several people ask about 219, you know, because once you get this done, we got to look at the other thing that's bad. If you'll remember, in 2019 when I took office, we immediately started to try to get this fixed out here, and I was told then, oh, you're on a list for 23. I asked 2 years ago when 219 would be on a list and got told, don't even ask yet. Fortunately, last Thursday, I did get a phone call. We've made it to the list. So that's one list that we want on. I did get told they do not know when. They emphasized that 3 times. Mayor, you hear, we do not know when, but you're on the list. So we are thankful for that. So know that when people ask about that, that's going to get done. That is a state highway. City has nothing to do with that. So at least that's in the future for us as well. So if nothing else, I have no other announcements. I need a motion to adjourn. Oh, okay, sorry. Square Gathering is this Saturday. Bring your coat. It is from 9 to 4. They do have a donut run starting at, yes.
Right.
So you're gonna eat a donut and run, so I'm not real sure how, you won't be seeing me there, so don't look, okay? But yes, Shelby and them have worked very hard on that. I think you are at capacity on your booths, correct?
Yep.
So,
I've had to turn people down.
Yep, so that is great. Everybody come out, there's lots of good vendors, food-wise, craft. And I know they have set up a kids area that for $5, you can get a band and the kids are able to do the activities that day for free. So you can't beat that for your kids, so.
And the eclipse, there's a partial eclipse that day too at almost noon. Really? Yes.
So we're all gonna be in the dark.
In the middle of the day while we're out there. And we got glasses and all that stuff, but it's gonna be a really good, sort of advertisement. This would be a huge deal if everybody wasn't looking at next April, but it's gonna be a 75% cover.
Wow.
And it's gonna be a really cool thing to kinda ease our locals into what's gonna happen next year. So we ordered glasses and got some t-shirts coming, and we're gonna make that a thing too. It just, we got lucky, it's gonna be at noon that day.
As you can see, a lot going on, and I will say one other thing. I did not have it written down, but I just now thought of this. You know that Mr. Yoakum had come forward asking for money from A&P, which A&P has the control over their money. They were gracious and gave him $6,000. He has had tremendous success this weekend. He's been in contact with me, giving numbers. They're pleased. Guys, there's people that have come right outside of, on the Oklahoma line coming over here. And so they're bringing people in, so I'm very grateful for that. I'm gonna try to get out there myself. They look like they've got a lot of great little setups, so, yes, Susan reminded me, look on the bottom, their Fire and Police Committee is October 23rd. Policy and Personnel is October 24th, and the Cemetery Committee is October the 26th, and all of those meetings are at 5:30 in here.
Mayor, I'm gonna tentatively set a budget meeting sometime the 1st of November, but I don't have the date yet.
Okay, you and I need to get together, because I've got some stuff on that
Okay.
for you, so
My schedule's so busy right now, I'm really
Okay.
having trouble nailing it down.
All right, if nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I
Second.
need a second. You got, David
Second.
did.
Hyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Mahon,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Oh. Okay, that didn't have to do anything. You may write them down for you, because I did not, I just have it here.
See you, sir.
On here.